last round. Plays down millennials know. And then he was like, it's time! The main step! And just throw his hand. 5 cost zeros. I managed to catch 3 people today. Yeah!
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Refresh Step where you recover yourself for the main step. I'm your host for today, tomorrow and the foreseeable future, Theodore Lu. And I'm the Totos Battler in the UK and at my Battle Spirits English Wiki, Ayumu Seiki.
Hello.
So yeah, Ayumu, how are you doing today? I'm totally dying right now, but yeah.
Same.
Yeah. It is what it is. Sometimes we have to squeeze in some things out of our body.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, so the closest thing that I can think of that is not that bad is basically if you play this RPG game in Nintendo Switch called Ring Fit Adventure. If you want to make your potions and stuff yourself, if you have collected the material from the fields, you can squeeze them into smoothies that you can use to heal yourself or like buff yourself to make your attack a little bit stronger so you don't have to exert your muscles as much. Yeah, you have to squeeze them like physically because Ring Fit Adventure has a separate controller basically that you attach your Switch controller to, and then it's kind of like a flexible plastic pen that you can squeeze and pull. So basically, if you want to make a smoothie, then you have to squeeze the thing for like, I think maybe 10 seconds. So kind of like so you kind of like just do a strength training there. Yeah. And that's how you heal yourself in Ring Fit Adventure, kind of. Always make sure that you have spinach smoothie in hand. If you're playing casually, of course. If you are playing hardcore, then you go for it. Because, like, basically, if you want to take the damage, since it is basically kind of like a game where you gaslight yourself into, like, thinking that, yep, I'm actually, like, trying to exercise while I'm doing this. So, basically, if you want to reduce the damage that you receive, oh my god, my English is deteriorating. Yeah. Basically, what you have to do is you have to squeeze the controller into your apps, kind of like to squeeze your apps in, and you have to hold that position for like I think a good 15 to 20 seconds, or maybe that's how long that it felt to me because like it can feel like a little bit hard because like you have to push it in, but when your stomach and your hands, so like with 2 hands by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, next time when you are here you can try that out. It's a fun game. It's a fun RPG. Also, like, since it's a fitness based RPG, if you want to walk, there's 2 options. You can you can basically like jog in place, or you can do squats. I have a basement down there, so I wasn't like, I don't know why, but I feel like jogging feels kind of like scary because like this house is like very old, so like I don't like, even if I am a little bit lighter, like in a grander scheme of things when it comes to pressure, since basically it's the number like feels so big at that point, like even if I am like 10 or 20 kilograms lighter, the number is still big enough that I feel like, okay, so I probably shouldn't be doing that in my room. So I just the one where if I want to walk, I'll have to squat. Just so my character could walk.
That's a term. If I had to walk, I had to squat.
Yes. Exactly. That's like, like sometimes when you do physics, like, okay, so you have to, in order to get pressure, you multiply the weight, the weight relative to the direction of the pressure being applied times the atmospheric pressure. Also, bless you.
I do not understand what the heck you just said there.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, there's this thing called like what was it again? Atmospheric pressure. Nice. I don't think that was what it is called. Like, yeah, I learned everything in Indonesian, so I even only remember, like, I don't even remember what it's called. I only remember the symbol of it, because it's G, like a small G, and then it's typically, like, on average, just to simplify things, it's mostly 8.8 meter per second squared, meter per second squared, if I'm not wrong. So that's the thing. So of course it varies depending on where you are and on Earth, because not all gravity is like equal, but like on average it's around 9.8. So if you're just doing like physics problem, usually that's the number that they default to. When you started it out, of course it becomes some teachers will simplify to 10, especially because in Indonesia typically you don't use calculators during exam. I think like only 3 years is like my teacher says, yep, nope, you times it by 9.8. Yeah, just calculate everything by hand and you can manage.
Classic, never explained to you.
Exactly. But yeah, today we are not here to talk about physics. We are talking about something a little bit more lighthearted, I guess. Because, this, everything I do, I base them on how do I put this? How do I put this in a way where it does? I took inspiration from other podcasts. That's the word. So yeah, so we're basically like. Also, we did discuss in the past that we wanted to do some kind of like a book club kind of thing where we recommend each other a book and then like we'll read it for like a month and then like just see what's our impressions of it for like that month of reading. But I figured since we need to start something with something small, there's something that is, well, at least a little bit more. It took a little bit more time than watching an episode of any show, but yeah, like relatively speaking, the time investment is not as big, so that we can kind of like manage and gauge like, okay, so should we do this again? So we recommended each other a movie, and yeah, well, I handwritten my notes and I have 1 page and 4 more lines after that.
What?
Yeah, so this is my impressions at that point of time. So like some of them is going to contain some expletives, so I have to kind of like censor them myself because that was like, otherwise it's going to devolve into just this Japanese book called The Correct Way to Use Fuck. The word fuck, I mean. Yeah. Yeah, that was still like one of the books that I kind of wanted to buy someday just for collection.
What the hell?
Yeah, Tadashi Faku no Sky
Wait.
Kata. So that is, you can find it in Amazon Japan.
So it's a Japanese book
Yeah,
teaching you how to use the English word fuck.
exactly.
What?
Yes. It is. I think like yeah, it's basically kind of like a half educational. It's a fun educational book for adults, I guess. But yeah, it is a very fun book. Once I know the existence of that book, I kind of yeah, I am kind of obsessed with it. So yeah, thank you, Chris Prout, for that, I guess. That's what all the inspiration for this podcast. But yeah. So yeah. Since Ayumu told me to go first, which kinda joke earlier, which didn't really land because I am still half awake. But basically, you know, when you play TCG, if your opponent has the chance to decide to go first, if you play either Yu-Gi-Oh or you play Battle Spirits, and your opponent can choose who goes first. But especially in Battle Spirits because you can check your first hand. Usually when they told you to go first, means that they have the means to finish you in their first turn. So that's that's why when he said that, yeah, you should go first, I was like, oh no, he can FTK me.
Oh my god, actually that reminds me off topic a little bit.
Uh,
I finally joined one of the Battle Spirits local in Hong Kong like
mm-mm.
2 days ago.
Oh,
And
nice.
I lost horribly
Oh,
with
okay.
Ice Princess.
Mm-mm.
So first round against Amaterasu out of
Mhm.
all things. Hong Kong people, we are
Uh-uh.
literally the first round. My opponent was using Amaterasu.
Mm-mm.
Table next to me was using Amaterasu. So what the fuck?
Why is this a trend?
Yeah, and then I went first, and I basically killed him in 3 turns.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so first turn I just played Premier and a White
Mm-mm.
World, and then he just went, oh shit. Next time he went Butchman to go and
Mm-mm.
Premier. I didn't even know he was playing Amaterasu.
Uh-uh.
And then like by 3 cards in hand.
Mm-mm.
Did he like set a burst or something? I can't remember. I don't think
Mm-mm.
he did. Oh, I actually did he? He might have set. Oh yeah, he did set a burst. It was like a Soul Dragon. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And then like literally my second turn because my Fermion built 3 spirits perfectly. So I just like 3 cost,
Mm-mm.
poke carrier, 2 cost, swing, round 1, flip white world, discard your last 2 cards in hand, and then flip, discard your burst,
Uh-uh.
and I just swing for free
Uh-uh.
with him as 0 cards in hand.
Yeah.
And then he top deck a Grand Terrasa and couldn't even do shit.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then next time I just like finished it. That was in like
Mm-mm.
5 minutes or something like that. And I
Yeah.
just went to the count, just like, so I won. And I was like, well, that
Mm.
was fucking quick. And I was like, yeah, I just kind of killed him in 3 turns.
Uh-uh.
And then yeah, and it's like, do you want to do some casual plays? Yeah, sure. And then we do some casual plays. And then like the other's like, yo, you guys still play? No, he just finished me in 3 turns already. Couldn't even do shit. It's like,
Yes, that's the beauty of locals.
yeah. And then and second round, I faced Artemis.
Mm-mm.
I could win, but I
Mm-mm.
lost by timeout.
No.
So I was literally in my finishing turn,
Mm-mm.
but then I lost my time. Then it was timeout, and they didn't have seal 1, 2, 3.
Ah, yeah.
So it was just like counting life.
Mm-mm.
He have 4, I have 3. So
Mm-mm.
yeah,
Aduh.
yeah. And then
Mm.
everything went downhill after that. Third round, I faced Armor Machine Gacha.
Uh-uh.
He played a Stark, set down a burst. Next turn, I play Fremia, Miloslava, and a card in hand. Ha! Psycho Seek Freedom! It's like, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he finished me by turn 2.
Of course. Classic
And
Revolution guys, yeah.
yeah, and then in the 4th round, I saw Contra Artemis is like, why are you even at the bottom table? And then his friend next to me is like, oh lord, no, he's not playing Artemis, he's playing Amaterasu. It's like,
Oh Lord.
and I won that game.
Uh-uh.
And then 5th, oh my god. So last round,
Uh-uh.
I went first. I drew the Millennial Snow. So I was like, yeah, I'll just play this down on Millennial Snow. And then he was like, it's time! And then like literally he went, main step! And just throw his hand. 5 cost zeros. And then I was like, what the actual fuck?
What are the chances?
I managed to catch 3 people today. Yeah.
Absolutely no more.
Like, you know what? I can't even be mad. That's impressive.
Exactly. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And oh yeah, and like the last opponent was like the very nice guy who sold me a copy of Blackster.
Ah.
You can put it on the screen so they know which one it is. But
Yeah.
he basically already had like a full collection. He just needs like the newer cards, but like he literally had a full collection with all the SPRs as well. And so like I asked him, do you have another Christmas Blackster? It's like, sorry, no. And what about Watermelon Trickster? No, literally only just got 3 each, and then I somehow got like 5 of the Sengoku Blaster. so he could sell me one. Yeah. It was like 50 euros. I'm pretty expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know where I can find the card again. Not gonna lie. So
exactly.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, he literally got like the first version of a kayak smile as well.
Oh.
Yeah, 3 of them. It's like
damn, that man's dedicated.
Yeah, he is dedicated. Yeah, but yes, enough about my day. Battle Spirit.
Yeah, that is really nice though. Once in a while, we do have Battle Spirits, like an actual like Battle Spirits meetup, a story to tell for once. that is not just me fumbling in Berlin, half like still half awake from like the train ride, and then like and then like we said something, and I just said yes, somehow yes. So yeah, that's yeah. Anyway, also speaking of Battle Spirits, my real cards finally came. Yay!
Yippee!
And also, I have a special gift from my friends as well. So that's probably something that I can I can reveal yet, but like you'll probably notice it in the future. But yeah, anyway. Where was I? So yeah, the only problem was like usually, as I know, cards from Japan should not be taxed. That's like technically speaking, I bought it from Singapore, but like the thing is manufactured in Japan. So like as I know, EU shouldn't have any tariffs for playing cards made in Japan. And then my stuff came to Cologne, and then I was almost asleep, in which why this podcast took so long is because there was like it was sudden, and it was like very shocking, and then like I was about to go to sleep because we have to record like really early, and then I just received an email from DHL saying that I have a certain amount that I have to pay, and then that was enough to wake me up. Because because like turns out I have to pay the VAT for that one. So that is not an import tariff. That is I have to for some reason pay like the German VAT for something that I bought in Singapore, which is kind of sad. And it was 19%, so I was like, okay, so this is why people say that. It finally hits that people say that things in Germany are expensive.
Yeah.
Yep, because
it's expensive because of the tax. Yeah.
Exactly. And then there's the kicker. So I have to pay 19% tax for something for stuff that I bought for like 2 decks. So that was a lot. And then like okay, and then the kicker is there's a processing fee that is like 15 euro, and that was also tax. So I was like, oh my god! So I haven't even received my stuff, and I have to pay like tax twice. This is kind of sad. But yeah, I can But yeah, with the current situation, I guess they kind of need money anyway, so I guess why not? Have to pay
Yeah,
back my student loan.
I tried to send something to my friend in France, and I was like, you know what? Let me double check if it's easier to send in Hong Kong or in the UK. God, those things are so annoying.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway,
so yeah, back to the movies. So basically, we do assign each other a movie, kind of like a book club. So I finally watched it last night. Finally had the time because this week has been pretty hectic. So yeah, this is the movie that Ayumu asked me to watch. So unfortunately, I cannot find any poster that is big enough in landscape, so you kind of have to squint a little bit. But I think
it
so
actually shows how obscure the anime is.
it's mostly because I don't think there's like a streaming service that is officially offering this movie. So for the one that I asked you to watch, I actually got the image from Amazon Prime. So I think like because this is
At the end, where did we watch it? I think we watched it on Apple TV or something like that. I watched it with my parents, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's a family
we'll
movie.
talk about that later. Yeah, it is a family movie. Yeah.
But yeah, this is actually a movie that Ayumu has introduced to me before in the podcast. So it's called Ganbatte Ikkimasshoi. The accent there is a little bit important because that is one of the core accessory to the movie, kind of, which is kind of like a
it kind of shows where they're based on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. kind of like the only fantasy in that movie is they are like basically like speaking living in kind of like in the outskirts, and then like they have like several fully functioning schools. That being said, I don't know, I didn't pay enough attention to what time period where this anime is taking place in, so probably it's a little bit back then. Now it's kind of like a problem that
it depends on when the novel is being written, actually. I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh wait, it was initially published by Magazine House in July 1996.
Oh yeah, that's probably why. That's the like the remnants of the golden year. Not really the golden year, but like remnants of the golden year.
I wasn't even born yet.
Jeez. I was 3 years old by that time. Not even the revolution has taken place, but anyway. Of course, like because I look for it like last minute, I then into Bilibili, which is basically the Chinese YouTube. And then for some reason the first version that I find for some reason has Indonesian subtitle, probably because Google had my search history, and then like, okay, so this guy's probably Indonesian, so yeah, without any keyword they gave me like the Indonesian sub, but I was like, okay, so it's already midnight, so I was like, fine, it's going to be fine. And then like, you know what, I thought at first I thought that would have been the time where I finally, so I can finally found my nationality, because 0 days has passed since I have to say to everyone that I'm Indonesian. So I thought that would be the time where my upbringing finally like gave me an advantage. It didn't. The subtitle was very, very awkward. I ended up having to kind of like look the other way around several times, because like I don't know why, but like I think like the subtitle was kind of like made kind of like per scene kind of thing, so it didn't really flow. And then like some of the, so this is basically just criticizing the subtitle, which is not really important to the movie itself, but like basically like it doesn't really flow, and then like sometimes they use like slangs, and then like in the next sentence they will use like the formal Indonesian. So I was like, why? But it was beautifully awkward. So yeah, that's kind of, I sometimes try to read it just to appreciate it, but in the end I understand it better when I didn't see the subtitle at all for some reason. But yeah, anyway, I'm trying to not spoil it too much. But yeah, if you wanted, yeah, basically if you wanted to see any of this movie, yeah, I guess it's a little bit easier to kind of like timestamp it. So I will try to give you some timestamps, and then maybe you can skip to Ayumu's part if you want to watch this movie, and then if you want to watch Ayumu's movie, then you can skip his part as well, and then go back to the whole episode after everything is done. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't listen to this podcast.
Don't listen to this podcast before you watch the movies, basically. But please listen to the rest of the podcast. I beg of you. But yeah, I think I will try to kind of like interpret my own notes, because yeah, I kind of took this as a chance to kind of like finally use my pen and handwrite stuff. Also because I kind of wanted to multitask a little bit and try to write a script, which of course didn't really work. I ended up like spending another half an hour to kind of like half finish the script that I've sent to Ayumu for review. But anyway, my first impression is, I think that was the very first scene. Well, not really the very first scene. It's kind of like still like after the very first scene, like the main character is like having a monologue, and then I was like, this feels like the closest that it hits to home. Like basically, kind of like she's a child prodigy kind of thing. Like trope wise, she's kind of like a child prodigy that when she grew up, she kind of get left behind, and then like try to still like reclaim the glory, but didn't really caught up, and then like she developed kind of like a superiority complex in a way. Also because I do kind of like develop superiority complex to kind of compensate.
I think you mean inferiority complex.
Yeah, I guess so.
So superiority complex is different. Unless it actually means she's trying to be superior, which I don't think so.
Yeah.
So first of all, what's her name again? Can't remember her name. It's called, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's called. Because like I was like in her position as well, so I think I would have understood it more than you do. But then again, I don't know how you were during your school times as well. But I would say it's like, if you think she's trying to be superior, then honestly the writing has done a good job, because like it's more of, because she's feeling inferior, that's why she's acting superior.
Yeah, that's what I do in real life. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, and then I think like the rest is like kind of like the usual kind of like world building shots, so kind of just giving you the vibe. And I don't, the one thing that I kind of like had made a mistake on is, I kind of like, well, not really a mistake, but accidentally I kind of checked the rating on IMDb and stuff, and I think like in my anime list it got like a 6 point something, and I was like,
it's like 6.32.
Yeah, and it kind of doesn't mean anything. I mean, like, yeah, there's bound to be like better stuff, but like all in all, it's kind of like very enjoyable. So yeah, I guess.
No, so it's really funny. I've seen someone saying before that like if you check MAL, if the anime is 8 or above, it means it's overrated. If it's 6 or 7, then it means it's decent to watch. 4 to 5 is kind of mid, like actually mid. And then 3 or below means it's actually shit.
We're just going to be better in 4 and 5.
So if you see something at 6 or 7, you kind of like guarantee like a certain kind of quality. At least that's what people think anyway. I can agree with them to an extent,
Yeah.
But I do think ethical, not ethical. Sorry, Ganbatte Mashoi, Ikkimasshoi can do a little bit better. But like, I can add my part after you're done saying what you think first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, like the vibe is nice. So I really enjoy that. The vibe. And yeah, overall, I think like I don't think there's really a part where kind of like anything feels awkward. Of course, it's a 3D animation, so you kind of have to get used to it a little bit. But I guess other than that, it's mostly just hardware issues. So I don't feel like that is their problem. It's my problem.
Yes.
And then like my next non-issue that became an issue is because they took like 2 trains to their schools. So I was like, why do you take like go to school like so far away from your house? But I guess that's kind of like also the other reality is that since schools are shrinking, you kind of have to. You probably have to go to school 1 town over because the one in your town is closed. So yeah, that's probably where it kind of finally sinks in that. Okay, so this is the reality that we live in, kind of thing.
Yeah, especially since they do live in like a small town. Ehime, or I think I heard about Ehime before. Oh wow, it's literally on the edge of Shikoku. Well, I think I might have been there before actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did. Maybe not the exact same place, but I did been there before. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know why, but I was frustrated with the homeroom teacher. I guess I don't know why. I did not write any reason. I just say that yep, this teacher shouldn't be teaching. But yeah, this is probably it's probably it. And then there's
actually like he or she didn't even give me an impression that I actually didn't remember them until you mentioned now.
Yeah, I think like it's mostly. I think this one was meant as a kind of like a joke to myself, also just to write something and not fall asleep.
Comic relief, yeah.
Yeah, I think like because also like it's also kind of like a small town thing, right? Like the teacher will be like, "Yep, fuck this, I'm going to the pub. So you do the rest. You shouldn't do the rest." But yeah, and then the next one, I think it's mostly out of jealousy, because we get introduced to the male character for the first time, and I was like, okay, how do I put this? But yeah, I will like, I do like with the characters that is a little bit more lighthearted. I usually don't accept them like directly. So kind of like when I first see a character and then they were really laid back, I was like, so best this person, alright. And like
she actually reminds me of Stark from Freerun.
Stark is kind of fine, yeah. Stark is kind of fine. He's cool.
Yeah. I think Ninomiya, which is the guy you're talking about, is also alright.
Yeah.
Like he's decent. Like he's not like a bad person or anything like that.
No. He's not a bad person, but it's just like
it just sounds a bit clueless sometimes. I think.
Yeah. The way like that's not his whole personality. That's more kind of like the first impression that I got is kind of like don't particularly like this guy, and I ended up kind of like okay, so this guy's kind of okay. He get the pass. Mostly just jealousy at that point as the movie goes, because he get to well, I can't really say that
Stop sounding like a gooner. What the hell?
No. I was like, I mean, like, even if we're speaking from like a perspective of like a high schooler, like I can't really say that, okay, so this guy get to spend time with the pretty girls because I was in the journalism club. So yeah, I was like one of the few guys that was actually there to kind of like actually write stuff for magazines. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so I kinda envy that guy, but like also at the same time, I'm like, yeah, now that I think about it, I can't really do that. But yeah, I think, and then yeah, at that time the next one is like they finally get like more people, so they can finally go do boating stuff. It's probably because they gave me the impression that it's going to be kind of like a mix kind of thing. I mean, like mix as in like in sports, like you basically then you both the male and the female athlete will like compete in like the same team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and then
yeah. That definitely gave out like the wrong impression, like from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I wrote that down mostly not because of how he put himself down. I think that is the next after that he was fixing the boat and then like they have to carry the boat themselves. So I was like, why didn't you help? But yeah. That's mostly also just kind of just like how do I put this? Not really kind of like a why didn't you help in like a bad way, but like kind of why why are you just standing there kind of like yeah, I kind of approach it like in a wrong comedy way of looking at it at that point. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think Fia has mentioned yet, but basically the anime is kind of about joining a rowing club.
Oh yeah.
In,
I forgot about
high
it.
school. Yeah.
Kind of yeah. It's they live like near the ocean, so that's why they kind of like have this like boat.
Yeah, they have the luxury to do that.
Yeah, they have competitive boating basically. Competitive rowing, sorry. Yeah,
competitive rowing. Yeah.
Which is kind of like spot on for us because yeah, there's this thing called like the dragon boat rowing.
Yeah. I think it's literally like kind of the same stuff, but like different culture.
But yeah, different. Yeah, I guess it's just kind of like a kind of like different boats or different. Yeah.
We had that in the UK as well. I was actually originally assigned to rowing, but then like it was almost winter, so I changed it. So I changed to hockey instead. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, and then they finally do their very first rowing, and then I was like, yeah, I was. How do I put this? Yeah, basically, yeah, it's kind of like the writer doing a good job. I mean, like they are kids, right? And then they tried did something that they really want for the first time, and it didn't work out, and they kind of got frustrated from it. I was like, have patience. Fuck, what word do I use this to not sound like a creep? But anyway, have patience, child. So yeah, that's basically how I saw it, and then they finally got a break. Like the main character, like she was dispirited at first, but like she finally found like she had a tipping point, and she was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do this. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this." And then like she finally somewhat enjoyed it, and then they went home, and then like, okay, so let's go to this cafe, and then like they went to the cafe, and then they had fun, and then like, you know, cafe, what it means, like, okay, so you can enjoy your meal, blah blah. And then there's this group of kids from like the other school, and then they were like, they entered the cafe, and then they acted like they owned the place. So I was like, what is your problem? You don't own the place. And then like, you know, two of the main characters, they are like actual rich people, but like this girls are like acting more privileged than like the actual people who have the actual privilege. So I was like, so So I was like, I can't have it. Yeah.
You can't have it.
Yeah. And then like and then like the next day, like understandably, like the main characters also got pissed by this team. So they were like, fuck it, we're going to the competition, fuck this. We just started this like yesterday, but like and then the competition is like in like next week. Like fuck it, we'll do it live. That was like at that time, I think like my note is like literally just, you guys are good stupid, but you guys are stupid just like me. And that was like really relatable because like back then in high school, I was like kind of like obsessed with game development, and then I tried to build like a kind of like an extra like a club to kind of like develop games. I kind of find a teacher that wanted to supervise it, but like he kind of quit afterwards as a teacher, not as the supervisor. So he kind of like changed schools, or like he just quit teaching. So like yeah, that kind of didn't work out. But yeah, basically at that time I didn't really have any other friends to do it with, because like yeah, actual game development is kind of like a drag. There's like lots of manual things that yeah, for people who just want to have fun, it's kind of like yep, not doing this. But anyway, not to diss my friends, but like this is a big investment, and at the very early part of the development, yeah, it's kind of hard to kind of like get people to into it. So yeah, and then there's this competition where you basically just need to develop a concept for the game, and then that was held by like a uni. And then okay, I was like, the competition is for like a team of 3, but like I don't have anyone to bring. Also because the competition is like in 2 weeks or something, or like in the next week. So I was like, I just messaged the organizers like, yeah, can I join by myself? And then they said yes. Yeah, and then I joined it. And then yeah, it's basically kind of like just a one whole day of just concepting, and then the next day is kind of like presenting the thing. So I tried to make a demo for it as well at night. And then yeah, and then I got third place doing it alone. So I was like, yep, I actually got more money than the first place because I don't need to share this.
I don't need friends.
Yeah, I can do it. No, just kidding. Yeah, that's probably why that when they did that, it was like, yep, that I said they are stupid in an endearing way. So that's like, yeah, you you can throw caution in the wind and like have fun. How I long for that day to come back. But anyway, one day when I'm rich, probably it can come back. Yeah, and then I don't know why, but like kind of sometimes like the vibe that this movie brings kind of like make me expect drama that I know doesn't fit in the context of the movie. Like when Etsuko went to the toilet and there's like one single door that is closed, like one single cubicle that was closed. I was like, don't know why, but like the vibe feels like kind of like just right. Like if they kind of wanted to subvert your expectation, and then someone will just come out of that cubicle and stab her. I don't know why that. That's kind of like the vibe that I got. But yeah, that's just random. That's a random part of the movie, I guess. And then yeah, I guess the next one, just back to Ninomiya. I don't know what happened, but like yeah, there's another note for Ninomiya, but yeah, that's what happened. And then, of course, they joined their first race. They one of the girl that kind of like forced them to kind of like start throwing, kind of panic because it's kind of like a stage fright. Yeah, I guess it's really relatable. You do this for the first time. There's lots of peoples, and then okay, suddenly now suddenly it's kind of real. And suddenly now you have a stake that you have to fight with. So basically she kind of got the stage fright, and then their coordination got a little. They haven't really got their coordination going that well, and then they kind of fuck up a lot. And then like even so, yeah. Then the girl with the title, she was basically like the kind of like the captain of the ship. So she didn't row, but she was responsible basically to kind of like set the rhythm for like the rowers.
Yes, to keep the direction. Yeah. What do you actually call that position?
Yeah, because I'm not there. I didn't look at it in the wiki yet. So yeah, that's basically like let's just call it captain of the ship for now.
Causeway.
Causeway.
Yeah.
That's a new word.
Yeah, it's definitely a new word. Yeah. It's like I can.
Yeah, but
it's
that's
like or just call it the Cox. Yeah.
Cox. Okay.
COX.
CO.
Okay.
Cox. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The same thing that I have to deal when saying sex in German. But yeah. Well, where was I? So yeah, basically a lot of things got fucked up. Even like the Cox got dispirited, and then she was like losing her pace, and then they almost went to the other line and maybe possibly hitting like the other team. Well, they didn't, but yeah. Indian Cox, yeah. Basically the main character was like get frustrated in a good way, and then she was like, fuck it, we'll do this until the end.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's
my
go.
Girl.
Let's go. They finally have patience, and then they didn't win, but up to that point it feels kind of painful. But yeah, that's still like painful in a good way. It's you kind of feel like their pain for like, okay, so we didn't like they actually at least they finished, but like still they kind of like went in kind of like all gung ho, and then like, yeah, we can win this, and then like they didn't, and then they feel like this little, well, not really dispirited, but like, yeah, the frustration of like you are actually like losing, like, fuck this, in a good way. Like we'll get them next time, but yeah. We'll get them next time is like really emblematic as well, because also when I first started playing Yugi, I was also like really like, yeah, I'll get them next time. Little did I know that my deck was basically a starter deck, but a few more cards, so like it will never work. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I don't know why, but like I find like one of the more endearing thing is like the girl with the green hair. Yeah, her nickname is Emochi. So yeah, so she's basically kind of like the Japanese girl, right? Like kind of like the one who who holds to the tradition and everything. So of course, like kind of like one of the way for like Japanese people to kind of like quote unquote show sincerity when you want to achieve something. They kind of like do shodo, which is basically you write down kanji that represents your goal with ink, basically with brush and ink. Yeah. So they made that particular scene really dramatic, and then like in the end it was a very beautiful katakana, but hiragana, but it's like, okay. So I guess like with the, how to say, like the feeling that Ganbatte Ikkimasshoi is conveying, you can't really justify like writing it in kanji, but it was like really dramatic to write that. And it's like kind of like, okay, it's a very tiny hiragana, but like I was expecting something a little bit more raw, but like I guess that's kind of just a difference in expectation. But yeah, and anyway, like the scene of her writing that down was really dramatic, so I kind of like it.
Hey, I mean that's what what do you say? What do you say? High schoolers do, right?
Exactly.
Like everything they do is gonna be dramatic.
Yeah. You will see a high schooler like typing really furiously, and then it's just like chapter 1 in Times New Roman, and then size like 48 or something.
True. Yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah. Ah, yes, the good old days. Yeah, and then I don't know why, like, because this is still a sports anime, right? So I feel like at that time I think like kind of like the frustration of Etsuko is kind of like, okay, so now it kind of like dragging the team because like she is the only one who is like not basically fit kind of thing, because she kind of like gave up sports like halfway, and then she just picked them back up. Like I mean like understandably she is like one of the weakest like physically of the rowers. So like, okay, so she kind of wanted to catch up, so she wants to exercise a little bit more to kind of like catch up with the others. And then since this is a sports anime, I don't know why, but it kind of like feels a little bit right at that point if she actually like literally broke a leg. Because also like, I don't know why, because the idiom to kind of like, that is the equivalent to Ganbatte. Ganbatte in English is kind of like break a leg, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know why, but at this scene it kind of feels right that if she actually like break her leg, like literally. So I was like, okay. So when is she going to like snap something? Yeah. And then I don't know why I kept on getting that, like probably because I watched it at 1 a.m. But yeah. And there's a random shot of a Crocs.
Of what?
You know, the Crocs sandals.
Like, did they do that? I actually can't remember.
It was a very random shot, like I think like in the background, kind of like when Inomiya enters the room, like kind of like it was on the floor, so I was like, it persists in the screen for like at least 5 to 10 seconds. So I was like, I cannot write this down. There's a Crocs. Crocs.
I mean, it was like a popular thing back then as well. So, I mean, that's a reason why Crocs still survive today.
Exactly.
I mean, let's be honest. It's like that style of sandals look like freaking goofy. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
But somehow people like it. I suppose. I mean, to be fair, it's partly because like you could decorate it in any ways you want. It was kind of like a new thing back then. I mean, I was interested in it as well.
Yeah, I felt like, yeah, because I was a Crocs user. it was kind of okay actually, like comfortability wise, but yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to describe. And then I own now a Crocs that I bought in the Netherlands just because it has some fluff, and I haven't had the chance to use it because it's basically for winter. And then yeah, the fluff basically got a lot of dust, and then now I don't know how to clean it. But also the other problem is like, because it has fluff, and then like Crocs, like one of the good thing is kind of like, I think in winter it can kind of like block enough air. So like, okay, so now it's really warm inside the sandal, and I don't really like it. Yeah, and then I think there's the more scenes with like the team from like the other school, and they were like being very condescending to the main character's team. So I was like, why? That's actually like, my goodness, like the actual rich people didn't even act this bratty. Like, why are they being this high and mighty. And then like the captain actually is the only decent person in that school, right? Like because she actually like, so they're actually like making effort, but like despite that they can still like kind of have fun. So she kind of envies that, and yeah, that's kind of nice. Like the rival the rival is like finally like acknowledging like the main character, like the protagonist.
It's a healthy rivalry.
Yeah. Finally, some healthy rivalry.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That doesn't involve actual like
Screaming.
murder.
or tons of screaming.
Yeah, or tons of screaming. Yeah, and then they went to like a kind of like kind of like okay, kind of like to take a break from like all the tension. They kind of went to a festival, like a summer festival. And then okay, at that point, Etsuko is kind of like developing some, well, I wouldn't say feelings, but like he finally like kind of like sees Ninomiya as a person, at least at that point. Yeah. So like I guess she kind of gets. Yeah.
I was waiting for you to mention that part, but keep going first.
Yeah. But I feel like okay, like why do they randomly like insert kind of like a love triangle in this particular part of the story? But like also probably because this is a movie, by the way. It's a an hour and a half movie. So like I think like at this point, like inserting like the love triangle feels kind of like there are like context that is missing on like why does this why do this the Ri, which is the girl on the left, talking to Nomiya, like carry so much weight to Etsuko. So it's like yeah, I think like it's kind of like hard to convey at that point, because like at that point even like the human relationship between Etsuko and Ninomiya like is barely like being established. Like okay, so like so how important is him to you? How and why does him like conversing with another girl, well, probably also the part is it's kind of like, I think it can kind of cause a misunderstanding because they kind of got separated from their other friends, so it looks like they are like on purpose like going by the two of them purposefully. So maybe that's kind of like the thing that goes in her head. But like again, she's a kid, so like yeah, if I remember back then, yeah, I guess like you do overthink a lot when you are younger. I still overthink a lot, just in a different factor.
So I was thinking, I was actually thinking about the same thing when I first saw that scene, and I had some thoughts afterwards. So I think partly like the problem was still because it was a movie, and like I'm sure supposedly there were like a better explanation in the novel. But what I think is that it wasn't about romance right there. So remember the girl who was talking to Ninomiya, what's her name again? Lee, Lena, yeah. Yeah, so Lee, remember how at the beginning she was afraid to talk to boys, because she came from an all-girls school. Yeah, so, so that scene, for me, I think it was more about progression and being romance, So Lee was alone with Ninomiya, who was a guy, but then like they managed to talk, really cheerfully, really smoothly, and then Ethical, who was already kind of like in like kind of like a soul, what's the word?
Probably she's like okay, so okay, I kind of get
like
what you mean. Yeah, kind of like
she's in an inferior state, she was and there was the moment when she was still thinking like, why am I still not getting better? Why's everyone else already doing better, but I'm not? So like when she saw Ri was being able to talk to Ninomiya without any hiccups,
then you feel like she is progressing, but she's not. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that was what the scene was supposed to convey, instead of being like a love triangle or anything like that. And it was obvious because at the end, nothing really happened between Mia and Etsuko, and nothing happened between him and Rina as well. There was practically no romance in this story. At least in the anime, they didn't show that. I don't know. I don't know what they did in the novel, which I really want to get. To be fair, I really want to. Oh, they said, yeah, I really want to read the novel. Yeah, but like, yeah, which I think is one of the more interesting scenes. Yeah, and it's definitely very easy to be misunderstood. To misunderstand like that moment.
Yeah, because like my second interpretation to that is actually kind of like a less of like a romantic jealousy and more kind of like a friendship jealousy. Because at that point, it feels like, okay, so now I was like, I was here mainly because this girl kind of like needs me, and then now she didn't need me.
Yeah, it
kind
can
of
be
thing.
something like that as well. Yeah, but like at the end, I don't think it was about romance, but like, it was something more about something about progression and like friendship, maybe. Yeah.
I think like I kind of like my two interpretations is about jealousy, but I guess like progression, kind of like the stagnation versus progression, kind of like fits the theme a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then of course after that, continuing with the thing, the what was it with the theme of stagnation. Of course after that, because at that point, like one of the plot point, well, the plot point is like the why like the festival is kind of like important is because the other girls, like it is summer, so like it's a little bit warmer, but like at night of course it's a little bit cooler, right? And then the other girls are like dressing like with the layers that they are comfortable with, but like Etsuko got forced by her mom to wear a yukata, which is basically can be pretty thin, and then because of that she caught a cold. She basically went down, and then like they went to practice, and then she kind of lost it, and then like okay, so like, but she kind of want to catch up because she was sick for like a week or something. So she was like, okay, fine, let's do one more time, and then like they at one point I think she haven't recovered fully, so she kind of like lost concentration, and then when they needed to turn near a rock, she snapped her oar, and then it hits Hime, which is the cox of the ship, also her best friend. So like, and then I saw blood on the floor of the boat, and I was like, oh no, she's going to die.
I literally thought like that. So, oh
no. And like it's and then especially since Nomiya kind of like pointed out that in the beginning that everything in that boat is kind of expensive, so like yep, please be careful with it. And I was like, but that's probably why Etsuko feels like even more frustrated, because like okay, so I can't keep up, I cannot I hurt my friend, I cannot even keep like the expensive equipment intact. So yeah, that's probably just an icing on the cake, basically. Yeah. And then
it's like the boiling point, basically.
Yeah. And then she basically mentally quits after that. Of course, then you accidentally like scroll to that screen, and then you see that there's more to the movie. So of course, it's not going to be the case. But yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's that kind of story. You can't just expect them to stop right there, right?
Yeah. I mean, like it's a sports anime.
It'll be really depressing if they do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sports anime, so like you can kind of expect that. I think like,
I think like the sports is just like a sub. What's it called? Like a subtopic. It's not the main theme, but it's just like being used as like a plot device.
I guess so. I mean, like, yeah, it screams sports anime to me, but anyway. Because, like, I mean, like, sports as a genre is less of, like, yeah, this is the sport and how it works. It's more kind of, like, the drama that is, that is born from, like, competing, together or with your rival kind of thing.
Yeah, like I feel like it's more like using sport as like a medium to show like like kind of like the mental progression of like a teenager, but like it's not
that's
necessarily focusing on like winning something, which is like
you
kind
don't.
of like
No.
how like most sports anime kind of trying to go for. I mean, I say that, but I don't really watch sports anime that much either. Like, literally, the last one I actually enjoyed was Keijo. So like
I mean, even Keijo is for the love of the sport. What are you saying? No, just kidding.
I mean, true, yeah, but like you might say that's an exception because it was kind of weird. Let's be honest.
Nah, I mean, like also Keijo is kind of like the whole plot point is like the tournament. So kind of like we kind of like expect them to kind of like progress. Like the progression is that they start from like being someone who can't win to someone who can win.
True, yeah.
But like I think like it kind of depends on like what the progression that the main character, the author wants to bring, right? But again, like as you said, kind of like in that case, like sport is kind of like catalyst, more like kind of like a catalyst for the progression of the character. Yeah, it kind of give them kind of like a how to put this, kind of give them a stage to kind of like have like a maybe a rival or like a team to play with, and then like okay, so then the dynamic from there that can be born because of the context that they are competing with each other. That's like our saga days. But anyway. And I think like they get into a fight, and then like the only part that I kind of like feels kind of like funny in a way is like when reach a boiling point in their argument, and then she slapped Atsuko, and then like the slap was so soft that like the slap was so soft that they didn't even put any slapping sound effect in that. I was like, I barely noticed the slap, and then like, oh, she got slapped.
Yeah. Oh my god, she did a bitch slap. Oh,
let's go. And then you know what? At that point, one thing that I realized, this is literally the first season of Love Live. Atsuko is just Honoka.
Yeah.
It's like it is not 1-to-1, but like okay, so they are like working like okay, so like in this case you can kind of like just to draw a parallel for it, you can kind of like use like being a school idol as a sport in the context of Love Life, right? And then they are like building a team, they have a rival, they have a goal that they want to reach. And then like at one point the main character, because she is the one who kind of like lags behind, she kind of wanted to catch up to the others, and then she pushed herself too far, and then like at that point she just hurts herself, and then she hurts her confidence even more in the process. So it's like okay, so this is, and then like in the end she and then in the end she picked herself up, and then like the school like the team actually like performs, like the team actually progress in their skills as well. So like okay, so this is literally Love Life. That's no brand girls. That's and that's I can basically spoil the first season of Love Life to you as well. Fuck. And then boy,
I literally watched Love
Life. No, I mean
I'm literally
I say that to the viewer. I mean,
right.
Like at this point, if you haven't watched Love Life, do watch Love Life. And then like okay, so after that, Atsuko met the captain of that other team when she was like in her slump, and then like a slump, and then she was basically just went home by herself, not meeting her friends because she didn't want to. Yeah, I guess like she didn't really want to meet her friends at that point. They just got in a fight at this point. So like
yeah.
And then she met the other girl, and then like, of course, like after they converse, Etsuko started to change her mind. She kind of like planted the seeds, and then I don't know why. The actual thing that made an impression to me is like actually like when the captain of that other team wanted to cross the street. Then I don't know why again. Like this is kind of like like the intrusive thought that goes into my head, but like don't know why, but like it will feel really right, like if she got hit by a car for in this scene for drama.
Bro,
it's like she like the rifle just acknowledge like how to put this, like acknowledges the main character, and then now okay, so we are going to like you're going to the competition, right? And then like she just got hit by a car, and like okay, now she can't compete, like
bruh, I think that's gonna be for like a different kind of anime.
I know, right? And then of course after that she got her spawn back, and then finally they basically thought that the next qualifier is going to be their last, because they're like second year, right? So like next year they are going to be third year, so like they wouldn't be able to invest as much time in sport because they're Japanese. So they kind of have to invest more time to study afterwards. So they kind of accepted the fact that they probably wouldn't be able to row anymore after this. So like let's give it our all, because it's going to be our last competition. So anyway, back into the last competition, pretty much same scene as the first competition. So again, I really got a feeling it's just going to get stopped Etsuko is going to get stopped at this point. She didn't, of course. That's not that kind of anime, but like the vibe is just correct. if you were to suffer by expectation and make this into a thriller anime at this point, I wouldn't be mad. And of course they kind of like changed their strategy. So they finally like the teacher finally like kind of like get enough like picture of like how to actually guide them. So like he also like gave them tips and stuff. And then like okay, so they finally found a new strategy, and then they are now way more united as a team. Like they gave it their all, and then usually at this point, if this is a normal sports anime, it would have been after like probably an episode like at least 24. So at this point you will have enough scenes to flashback to. But of course, this is at this point it was like 1 hour and 20 minutes into the anime, so there's not as much scene to flashback to. So instead they kind of like to paint like the serenity of their mind. They kind of like just like give in between, they just give a shot of them kind of like relaxing on hardwood after like on a beach side cottage, basically in the terrace after like the match, kind of like, or like in the sunset. It doesn't specify the time, but they kind of like gave that scene to kind of like paint like the serenity in their mind at that point, because they are like so focused on rowing, in which usually it is a good time to do flashbacks, but they don't have any flashbacks. So that's what we get. And then I don't know why like the the direction that they used in that scene made it look like they are already dead. So like I don't know why.
Freaking hell, bro!
I was like,
oh my
okay,
god, I just really love the OST while they were rolling. Like that was like they started off really intense as well. It's like, oh, I want that. Oh, this is fire. Hold up, this shit is fire.
Exactly. It is actually fire, so go watch it. So yeah. I feel like at that point I already expected that. Yep, this is so far like the anime, like with sports anime, you do have like certain factors that you go like they're kind of like a underdog story where you kind of like where the goal is kind of like the main character winning, but there are also underdog story where kind of like, okay, so it's kind of like where the underdog kind of like accepts the reality that, okay, so this is probably well, the point is they don't win. But yeah. And okay, so I can kind of like expect that they wouldn't win at this point because again, they kind of like started late compared to like the other teams. So like if they don't win, that's kind of like you don't really how to avoid this. It doesn't feel wrong that they didn't win, but still because
and I think like a lot of times it's also like a deliberate choice from like the authors, to kind of like prevent from straying away the fact that this is not really about the sport. This this is about something else. Kind of thing.
Not really. I think it's more kind of like the direction that they kind of want to. It's just the direction that they want to take. But anyway, where was I? But yeah, anyway, at that point, why do I will still argue that this is a sports anime? It's because at that point I've been also so invested in their competition side of things that okay, so they I know that I was not supposed to expect them to win, but like it still hurts when I know that they didn't win. And then and then of course then the only happy ending if there is that even though they didn't win, they still qualify for the next tournament, so they for the next level of the tournament, so they will be able to row at least one more time before they have to retire to study for exams. So yeah, my last note was like episode 2 where we need a second movie. And yeah, I guess if you say that 6 to 7 is going to be like decent to kind of like a gold, how do I put this, kind of like a gold river where you can, okay, so you kind of have to sift through it, but like you can find real gold. Yeah, I guess this is the only thing that is a little bit can quote unquote can be improved is probably the 3D models, but like other than that, it's all. I think. I mean, like it's one of the better ones.
Yeah,
it's one of the better ones, but this feels kind of like, okay, so I mean, like just Japan in general, when you compare it to kind of like Western production in 3D animation, it feels kind of like sometimes can feel a little bit behind, but that's kind of like the limitation of the industry as a whole, not really this particular production's fault kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so I guess like this is one of that's probably the only, that is like probably the only thing that kind of like holds it back. But most of the thing I think was really done well. Like the music and the sound design was really nice, so like nothing feels awkward sound wise, like nothing felt like really too loud or anything. The visuals was really like the backdrop was really beautiful as well. And the way they deliver the story is like, I guess like they are limited by the time, like the duration of the movie, but I guess like you do have like you get enough context on why you need to get invested in the main character. You get like the sport to kind of like as a vehicle, kind of like a catalyst for the drama, and then you do get enough like enough progression, because like at least they didn't like they do kind of like mentions here and there that okay, so they have like joined like several competitions. So like at this point, like in the last competition, you kind of like know at that point that okay, so they might have started late. They might not practice as much. They do have like some gaps in which they don't practice because of that the slump period basically. And then when Etsuko was sick as well, but like you can kind of like see that okay, so like their progression from like being in the fourth place, like not being able to steer like the boat correctly, to actually like getting the second place is actually kind of like natural because like at this point they have like boated like for a really long time as well, and they only have like those 5 members, right? So like understandably they are going to be like a little bit more closer to each other as well. So yeah, can't complain. If I were to put it in a German way of like describing food, you can watch it.
You can.
Yeah.
Watchable.
because like the actual German term is edible, but like I don't think that kind of right. So in the movie, I guess like if you put it in a way that you don't waste the popcorn saying this, yes, it's a very edible movie for the popcorn.
Of the popcorn.
Yeah.
It's a movie worth eating your popcorn.
Yes. It's a movie worth like getting fat for the popcorn.
Cheese popcorn out of 10.
Nice. Yeah. So that was really nice because I haven't really watched sports anime in a while. That's kind of a lie. I did watch. What did I watch? I even forgot what I watched like recently. Probably just Spell Spirits Shonen Geki Hadan, but that's not really the in Battle Spirits I think like the one that's closest to sports anime is Heroes, I guess.
Yeah, Heroes definitely the closest one.
Or Burning Soul.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I suppose anything with a tournament arc and call it like a sports anime, yeah.
Yeah, I mean like it's more kind of like how do I put this? Kind of like the focus is kind of like how the sport brings them together, kind of thing. Like because like with the other series, it's kind of like with the Ultimate Zero that is more kind of like an adventure kind of story, right? Because like, the characters went on a non-specific journey, and then like this is what happens when he does that. Kind of like the other ones are like more kind of like adventure, kind of like a adventure with a quest, so kind of like like the other ones are mostly just adventure with a quest. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, of course that was really nice to watch them in a while. And then of course after that I have to give Ayumu something a little bit different. So I didn't give him an anime movie. Shocker. I gave him a Flash movie.
It was a Flash movie.
Yeah, so to tell you the truth, I haven't watched this in a while. So I have like some memories from it, but like I think like my teacher told me to watch this kind of like teacher thing, kind of to motivate the students to be a little bit more entrepreneurial. So I'm going to live vicariously through Ayumu's eyes right now. I asked him to watch The Billionaire, which is a movie that is kind of like an autobiography, like kind of like biography movie of like the founder of one of my favorite snack brands, which is Tokai Noi, which is a pretty big seaweed snack brand in Asia, especially Southeast Asia, because it's a brand from Thailand.
Yeah. I actually never knew it was from Thailand until this movie.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like Chinese or Japanese. Actually, no. So like I decided to watch it with my family as well after you mentioned it, and like it's because like obviously it's also my mom's favorite snack. And like the best part was that like when I finally saw the icon and I was like, look, try to take notice of the icon, and then when she showed, it's like, oh yeah, that looks very familiar. Like she saw the packaging as well. Like we were at the point where it's about the packaging. It was like, oh, so like they're like copying like the seaweed brand. And then I said, no, that's the actual seaweed brand. This guy is literally the creator of that seaweed brand. And then she was like, oh.
It didn't. Yeah, I mean, like it didn't really help that the logo of Taokai is like a stereotypically Chinese guy. So yeah, kind of understandable.
Actually, it's really funny. So my mom had a research on like the actor of like the main guy. His name,
Yeah,
for
so no, I think it's top or something.
Top, yeah. Top, yeah, top.
Top.
But yeah, and then so like the actor himself was actually a singer, and then he is actually half Asian, half European.
Oh.
Yeah, which explains why you know he's like one of the prettier boys, basically, you know.
Gosh.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess it's my time to explain what's happening.
Yep.
It's so it is so yeah, it's basically about kind of the rising of like a business, you know, and like one of those things. Like to be fair, like I would say you can treat it as like a biography, but like it's one of those things that like doesn't
it's
really have any
dramatized,
meanings behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like doesn't really have any meanings behind it. I would say no.
Yeah. I mean, like the founder is still alive, so.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, yeah. The founder is still alive, but like what I mean is that like it feels a lot like that.
Entertainment.
You know, it was one. Yeah, it was like purely for entertainment. Like you know, oh, the seaweed brand exploded. You know, let's like interview this guy. You know, like how he made it, kind of things, and then they realize, oh, his story is actually kind of interesting. You know, let's make it in the movie. But like, I feel like, you know, especially since you know throughout the whole movie, they like the luck factor is actually being re-stressed quite a lot. You know, so like if you ask me, can it really be used, you know, as like an encouragement, you know, for people to start business and stuff like that? I was like, no, not really. Like if anything, you know, Top was like really arrogant with stuff. You know, like normally, you know, if anyone else, you know, trying to do the same thing, they would have been stopped by like the others already, you know, friends, family, and stuff like that. You know, but like you know, it's the fact that Top was like came from like a rich background, like that's why he could still afford, you know, to like kind of just like mess around a little bit, kind of thing. Like obviously, like at the end, it still kind of got humbled. You know, like to be fair, he got humbled for quite a lot of things on the way. But but like it's like, but also like at the end, you know, as I said, he got really lucky with a lot of things as well, like to like get to where he is. I mean, obviously, like is everything real? I mean, probably not, but like
yeah, it's definitely going to be dramatized.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you know, so basically, the story kind of starts off with Top being being like being like a kid who's like wants to
make money.
Make not
Well,
make
yeah.
money. I was saying make money because it definitely looks more like he is interested in doing business, but like not necessarily making money. Like he basically is interested in the progress more than the results. I mean, obviously the results were also very important to him, you know. But like he likes the idea of like doing something to make money, and that's how I feel about it. And like I think like at that point, you know, you can kind of feel that, you know, he's like one of the more sincere people, basically. I mean, you can see it on as well, and you know, that's like kind of like how they try to set you up to kind of like the character, well, the person in this case. Really. But like, I'll just say the characters, you know, for the sake, because it's still like, you know, from the point of a movie, he's still just a character. So I'll just say this.
Yes.
especially since we don't know like how the actual life of like the actual person has been. So
exactly,
you never know if everything's true or not. But yeah. So and like that's kind of the way how they set up for you to kind of like this character because especially when you start off with um talking about like a rich family's kid. You don't really give out the best impression, right? You would think like he's like a spoiled brat or stuff like that. Granted he's still very spoiled, but like
yep,
you can like right from the beginning you can already see some kind of good elements from him. Basically, it was also a very good decision for them, to not start from the very beginning in a chronological order, but rather they start with like a flash forward. Flash forward? No, flashback. Yeah. Because like the scene starts with Top asking to borrow money from like loaning company. Is that how you call it?
yeah,
Yeah, and like like the staffman was like, okay, tell me why I had to lend you money, and like that's when Top kind of like start talking about his whole experience as a kid, and from that point, like it was a very good decision because like first of all, that um he was a very smart person, from the way he tried to persuade the staff member, and from there it's already like a good point, a good impression because it is telling the audience that okay, yeah, this kid isn't just messing around, at the very least he has the talents there, you know, and then but then like obviously they immediately give like a contrast, of like how he starts off by selling in-game items to earn money.
yep,
And it is a stark contrast because like obviously when we're adults, so we know that this isn't going to work in the long run. But he thought it was going to work. There was this naivety in him, and like the fact that like they try to put this scene right after how he started explaining to the loaning company, kind of gives you like a contrast. It gives you an idea that he has grown from there, and then yeah, and then like the whole focus is for the audience to kind of watch, how did he grow from there. It's very interesting. So like very much like how Top is focusing on the on the process. The movie itself is also asking the audience to focus on the process instead of how Top will end eventually. Obviously partly because if like when the movie was released, they probably would assume that like maybe like quite some people would have already known that this is based on the actual guy who made the series. Yeah, so like in the first place the whole movie is all about the progress more than what to do at the end kind of thing. Yeah. And yeah, so that part, in terms of like structure wise, it was like really decent. I like that. And then in terms of stories, it's all the generic things. He realized he cannot sell in-game items anymore, so he went to start selling DVD players.
yes, but they were
Yeah,
he got scammed.
Yeah, and then he got scammed. Yeah, and then that was kind of the first moment where he got humbled for real. And then also it is like I might be going into this too much, but it may be a coincidence as well. But like nonetheless, what it did there isn't like just for the effect of him getting humbled. But again, there is another contrast, of like how to be like a good business owner, basically.
Yeah.
You got yeah. So like you got Top who's still learning, versus like a guy who's basically a scammer and then it kind of makes it can makes the audience worry. Oh my god, okay, what would Top do at the end? Would he like also try to scam people just so he can succeed? Or like will he like learn from that and do something else kind of thing? It leaves the audience a little bit of doubt, so that like they will keep watching. And then what he'll start selling chestnuts after that, right? I think
so.
Yeah. He
I
started
remember.
selling
Yeah,
chestnuts.
I my memory stops at the DVD player and starts back in the seaweed basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the seaweed was a large part, but so like the chestnut part was like interesting because like on hindsight, or maybe I should say at that moment, it feel like it was more like a transitional period than like trying to like give an actual message, an actual meaning of like what that was supposed to mean. But I feel like perhaps it was to try to give the idea to say that Top has also learned that he cannot just plan things and then expect things to work it out without himself actually getting involved, because I'm pretty sure like the one of those things that being stressed in that scene was the fact that he was not the one operating the stall. It was his uncle, his actual uncle as well. And then it was also like really interesting how like they kind of portray his uncle as being like a relatively old person. So like you kind of starting to get like a bit worried, a little bit of like a bad impression, like, oh my god, at least that's how I felt. It's like, why is he making it like an old person work kind of thing. And then like in a sense, it kind of helps you to like kind of try to root for Top in a way, because you kind of try to hope that he would realize there's something wrong, and he would grow from that and all those stuff. And then so yeah, so I think like that was like the main point of that scene. The second point was probably to make Top to understand that earning money isn't that easy. There will be a lot of problems, and that kind of set up for him to actually get ready, to what's the word, like get ready to like face like all the other problems when he was beginning to like do the seaweed thing, because obviously if we haven't experienced all that already, and then he got um and then he got rejected by 7-Eleven, about his seaweed.
Yeah. Oh
uh,
yeah. That's
and like he might as well just give up there, right? But like it's because like he already has the experience of selling the chestnuts. That's when like he kind of learned that he has to do something else instead of just like giving up there. Like that's how I feel. Like that's kind of the effects of like the importance of like the experiences of trying to sell with chestnut. I think like also another thing is that it actually like gives another good point to the audience, for them to like Top, because while he was selling chestnut, you can see like there's this persistence in him. He didn't just buy the machine and say, oh, it didn't work, okay, let's try and move on to something else. But like he did try, like, okay, I'm gonna learn about how to make the chestnuts, how to cook the chestnut, which actually also surprised me, to be fair. But then like how to learn make the chestnuts, and then, okay, so this spot doesn't work, let's try and move into another spot. And then like, okay, and how to make them better, like he's actively thinking how to make his chestnuts better, kind of thing. And then again, it kind of tells the audience, okay, so this guy is not like just like a lazy person who hopes to succeed without doing anything. He's actually doing something. And like and like, so it kind of helps to you know help to continue watching and to kind of root for Top instead of like hoping he fails or stuff like that. Yeah, and then like obviously then after that we got like the most important part, the seaweed part.
Yeah.
It was it so obviously it all started off like it's as kind of like an inspiration kind of thing. Cause like he walked to 7-Eleven and turned around and saw them and it's like, right, I can do that, that kind of thing. And so like I would say, I mean obviously there's like a slight stroke of luck, but also at the same time, if he wasn't smart, then he wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah.
So again, it just kind of shows that is smart with these stuff, and then he realized what he could do, kind of thing. And then yeah, and then you got like all the normal things. And oh yeah, obviously another thing is like how he noticed his girlfriend's seaweed, and it's like, oh, I can do something about this, kind of thing. Yeah, and then then what is it? Yeah, he got rejected by 7-Eleven. Actually, no, before that was it? Oh yeah, he tried making the seaweed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But like it fell all the time. And then it was like a good moment to kind of see his mentality there. Because like surprisingly, the one who tried to give up first was his uncle. And then like and helped us like, no, you can't stop here. You really, well, I found his reasoning quite funny, but like it still kind of makes sense because like that is kind of the motivation for some people, which is like, you can't just stop here. You already wasted all this seaweed. You need to keep going.
Exactly.
But like, yeah, but like, I mean, obviously the way he said it was kind of funny, but like, it kind of makes sense. Like one of those things, you really try so much, you might as well keep going, kind of thing. And like, so like, yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And then what was it? And then I'm starting to go blank, and then I don't know. It just feels like, as I said, it's an interesting movie. Well, like that isn't really, in terms of the story itself, there isn't much in depth. Like for the past like 20 minutes, what you've been listening is more like me trying to analyze, in terms of like how they've done the movie rather than how the plot goes. Yeah, because I do think like the plot itself is just like very simple. Guy keeps trying, guy keeps losing, but he tries again and he wins. Kind of thing. Yeah. So I mean, just to let the listeners know, basically, he failed. But like he trying to make some more seaweed, and then like his uncle was also trying, but then like his uncle probably slipped and like hit his head, and then he got sent to the hospital, and then like when Tom was at home, he tried to fry more seaweed by himself, but he ran out of seaweed. But there was one more piece of seaweed that he hasn't used yet, which was on the floor, and it was dropped by his uncle because he slipped and it got soaked by rainwater and stuff like that. And it's like, what, might as well throw that in and try, and then he actually found the recipe, kind of thing. So there's kind of like another stroke of luck by having his uncle hit his head, but here we are.
Exactly.
And then yeah, and then what was it? Yeah, he tried. Oh, actually, find the recipe. He went to 7-Eleven again, and then what was it?
Yeah. So at first he was okay. So he brought samples, but
oh wait,
yeah.
no, he didn't go to 7-Eleven yet. No, I think this is the first time he went to 7-Eleven. Yeah, and then like he did the branding. He did like a simple branding, and then like she said, like basically the manager said, no, that's not enough. And so like he went back, redo the branding, and then went to 7-Eleven again, forgot that he needed to make an appointment. And then he waited for like a long time, and then he was like, overthinking stuff like that, thinking like the manager didn't want to see him and stuff like that. And then he just like gave up, like dropped the box of seaweed to like a kind of like an elevator guard kind of thing, and then like people just like saw it, pick it up, like, hey, this one's actually good, and then and then they just found it like, you know what, we want you kind of thing, and then we're gonna examine your factory, and they just went, factory? No,
Factory.
I don't have a factory. What do we need to make? What was it? 720 units. Yeah. And just like, and then so yeah, what was it?
Yeah. So he bought like kind of like a storage shed and like the outskirts, and then turned it into the factory.
Yeah. He rented a storage space, and then also the people as well. And then like at that point, it was like his final bet, because literally, if he couldn't earn money from there, he would go to jail for not being able to pay the workers and stuff like that. And then and then at the end there were like a few problems, but he passed the test, and then he could ship his stuff, and then he was late to ship his stuff. But then like the guy went soft, it's like, okay, you know what, whatever, go on, kind of thing. And then the movie just kind of ends there. It's like, what I found really interesting is more like how we just kind of recommended each other some very similar stories.
Yeah,
it's like, I mean, I think like your movie, is the Billionaire is like, it's like definitely about achieving something, and then like trying to like have like a moral behind it, a moral story behind it. But like, the one I gave you is more about like the mental progression and like stuff like that. It's like, or more like purely about the mental progression without any actual like achievements to go for kind of thing. But I think it's pretty similar, I guess. Yeah.
I suppose so. Yeah, actually, I'm quite surprised that you actually like took it a little bit more positively than I do. Because like I said, that my teacher, it was probably my teachers that asked us to watch this to kind of like get some entrepreneur spirit. But like, of course, like on the course of like watching this, I was just like, how do I put this? I watched this movie firstly as a kind of like an elongated Thai commercial, which, mind you, as a cinematography, it's absolute cinema. So like, I wouldn't mind, like, you sometimes saw a Thai commercial and you wish you can have like a full-length movie out of it, and this is your full-length movie that is basically a Thai commercial for a seaweed brand and US-based convenience store that got taken over by its Japanese counterpart, aka 7-Eleven. Yeah. I feel like it was like the part that left an impression to me is like, of course, like when he was young, he was still like being a brat, like, and I think like you did find like the contrast between his older self and his younger self, and I think like the part where he started as his older self kind of like got over my head, and I just saw his younger self, and I'm like, yeah, he's kind of a dick. He's really a dick. He's a big dick. And then yeah, I guess the rest is kind of just it's more kind of like the execution of like how like Thai production usually kind of like can kind of like steer your emotion to kind of like feel strongly about the emotion that they want to deliver in each scene. So like it's more kind of like, yeah, I think like technical wise, it's kind of like execution the movie. Because like the idea is not there, but the execution is 10 out of 10.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and
like it's like one of those things like, what is a decent movie? Yeah.
Yep.
But like, to be fair, if you ask me, would I recommend to anyone, I would just say no. Actually, like, I feel like it was like a good movie, but it was not like God tier movie.
Oh yeah, no.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So like, it was like kind of like it was kind of like in a weird position, I would say.
Yeah, it was a fun watch.
Yeah.
I like bad stuff and I'm proud of it. Positive affirmation of the day. Yeah, I feel like the more I actually you know what was going on my mind while I was listening to you like analyzing the stuff. It was like I remembered like another movie that my boss like made us watch for like movie night, which he kind of regretted it in the end as well. It's like what the fuck, because it was like okay, so like at least they were able to kind of like paint off as like kind of like likable guy, right? Yeah, so the one that my boss asked us to watch for like movie night was actually about the founder of fucking Donald.
What?
Yeah. And he was a dick from the start to the end.
Oh wow.
So like if you think like Toph is like okay, so this guy okay, so you see like you kind of like paint him in, as his business savvy kind of like in you can kind of like see it in a really positive way, right? But like you see, who was his name again? Founder of McDonald's. Like, yeah, he was. Yeah, I didn't end up liking. Like even as the character in the context of the movie, I didn't even like the character at all. Like, fuck this guy, man. Like he just fucks people over like left and right. And like I know I like McDonald's and their food, but I don't particularly like their inception or their mission. But like yeah, fuck this guy, man. Cause Ray Kroc, yeah, he was a dick from the start to the finish. Like like he stole that the McDonald's. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's not recommend you to watch it the next time. But like, yeah, basically, the progression is pretty much the same. He was a salesman, so he had some money. So kind of like a different background a little bit, but they kind of have like the same kind of like financial position because Toph is a rich kid, but like his dad got bankrupt or something, or basically like he lost access to his parents' money, so he only has the money that he has on hand at that point. On the other hand, Ray Kroc was a salesman, so at that point he has accumulated some money to kind of like start a business with. And then I think like at that point he was like selling the milkshake machine.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how he kind of like get into like the back of the restaurant and then like start having like the thought of like developing his own restaurant. But and then like the big break was at that point was most of the burger restaurant in the US at that point was like drive-in, right? So like you go there, they don't have any seats, they just have a parking lot, and then they will like bring it whenever, and it's going to be cold and sad and yeah. Anyway, it's there are lots of druggies and stuff in between. So he was like, "Fuck this, man!" Like he was not a good guy, but like the only thing that I can relate to is like his frustration. It's like, why does my eating experience needs to be like this kind of thing? Not to say that the druggist doesn't deserve to exist, but kind of like, yeah, more into like the whole experience was not good. Also, like the service was really bad, and then like he stumbled upon this one particular burger restaurant called the McDonald's. Yeah. So
I see.
yeah, and then yeah, the actual founder of McDonald's, they kind of like develop a system, kind of like a system to deliver the food quickly. So yeah, and then he stole everything from them, and then Yeah, that's how I hated him even more as the story goes. So yeah, I guess before I bore you more with my hatred toward the founder of McDonald's, if you guys have any questions, comments, or requests, do feel free to send it to us at therefreshsteppodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll be back next week with more Battle Spirit stuff, so do look forward to that as well. Especially since now especially since we are getting to
if
the
you have
new
any
booster.
movies that you want us to watch as well,
Yeah,
let us know.
yeah, do send it to us on our email or comment below.
Yippee.
Yippee! So yeah, I guess time to go back to my bed before it's too late. So yeah, I guess that has been everything that you. So I guess that has been everything that we can share for this week. We hope that you guys have a nice week going forward, and we'll see you all in the next day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ding dong ding dong.